Hello everybody, this is Gregory, 5-Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about whether or not it's okay to pray for God to take your life or to take you to heaven or whatnot. And we're going to look at some biblical examples as well. Now, before we begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, secutor in principio et nunc et semper, saecula saeculorum. Amen. We have a video here how there's the old adage, life is short. Actually, life's pretty long if you look day in, day out, and there can be a drudgery to life. And certainly life can be difficult if you've had a life of adversity, going back to maybe early childhood trauma all the way through your life. And I think as a whole, there are vicissitudes or ups and downs in life. And for some people, maybe people who life can be a struggle. Sometimes you pray, especially during those dark times, like, God, just I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'll spend as much time as I need in purgatory, or if you'll take me straight to heaven, that's great. I'm just ready to go. And it's a certainly human feeling to have. Now, some of you who watch this may not even relate to that. You're like, life's great. I love it. Da, 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 da. I want to die when I'm 89 in my sleep. But remember, not everybody's like that. So we can look at biblical examples. As I drink my tea here at the tea store. If you're one of those types of people who are just like, God, take me now, I'll go as a martyr, whatever it is, you're not alone. We can look at some biblical examples, mostly from the Old Testament. Moses, Elijah, Job, Tobit's future daughter-in-law, Sarah. They all are like, I want to go. Take me, take me, take me, take me. You look, Moses, you think in many ways, Moses, man, talk about the patience of Job. You talk about the patience of Moses. Moses, fascinating life. He deals with all these whiny Israelites and then never gets to the promised land. You look at Tobit. Tobit goes blind because of the droppings of poop. We have an episode here on the crazy story that is Tobit. It is probably, I know I shouldn't say this, but it's my favorite story of the New Testament, or Old Testament, I should say. I just love this story. It's so Catholic, but it's also so quirky and weird. Tobit wants to die early on. Then Sarah, remember, every time she gets married, a demon kills the groom on their wedding night. So she's like, I just want to go. The servants are making fun of her. She just wants to kill herself, but she's like, I can't because it would ruin my parents, right? So just remember that when you have bleak times. Like, she's thinking about how this will dramatically and catastrophically affect her family. So in all those occasions, those 5 occasions in the Old Testament, where these people are asking, God, take me, what does God tell them? No. God doesn't be like, okay, let me take you. No, he's like, no. Why? I think the best way to remember is the Lord's Prayer. Thy will be done. Mary's fiat. Let it be done according to thy word. Jesus in the garden. Pass this cup of suffering, but essentially thy will be done. I don't want this, right? So it's always submitting our will to God's will. God knows best. In many ways, I know this isn't the best example, especially among anti-vaxxers, but in many ways, God is like the parent when we take a 3-year-old in to get a vaccine. The kid doesn't know why the vaccine's good for him, but the parent does. And it's the same thing here. And if you look at all these examples, maybe not Moses, but if you look at all these examples, things always work out better. God has a plan for our suffering. And we've talked about it here on many episodes on redemptive suffering. It's such a useful tool that we Catholics have that sadly a lot of Protestants don't have. They've never even been raised with that. You can talk to converts to Catholicism and they've never heard of redemptive suffering. But good comes from suffering. It can make us wiser. It can give us perspective. And normally, a year, 5 years after some tumultuous life event, we are better people because of that event. Even something as horrible as losing a child or whatnot. And so we have to just align our will to God's will. It's very human to say, God, take me now. But we have to remember, God, this is a tough time. Thy will be done. Thy will be done. Jesus, I trust in you. Divine mercy image. Jesus, I trust in you. And you look at the examples that we gave. Tobit eventually is reunited with his son. He gets his sight back and he has a daughter-in-law. Sarah, Tobias, I should say, marries her and has a wonderful life, right? But she couldn't see that at the time of her despair. Job, probably the classic story, right? Totally understandable. You lose everything is wiped away, and then he's rewarded many times. So we have to look at these examples and just remember that it's very human to say, God, take me now. And it's not like it's a sin to necessarily say that, but we just have to remember that normally with time, things will improve. There is a benefit to offering it up, right? Very Catholic phrase, offer it up for their souls in purgatory, to also get us closer to the suffering that Christ did for us. And we just have to look at these examples from the Bible. Again, this is why, one of the many reasons why reading the Bible is so salubrious for us, and why reading the lives of the saints can be the same thing. And we just have to remember this. Guys, post in the comments, I'd like to hear from you. What are some stories from you where you went through some suffering, but in the end, your life was better and you had more wisdom? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.